This is my current heart rate right now. Not after a cardio session, not after a sprint session, after a weightlifting session. I've been working out for the past 12 years and I have hit walls. Believe me, I have hit plateaus. And every single time I figured out a way to get over them, my physique has dramatically changed. My results are so dramatic on a month-to-month basis that my sister, one of the most disciplined people that I know in the fitness space, thinks that I'm using. But everyone who knows me on a personal basis know that I would never touch that in my life. So if you're not seeing results on a month-to-month basis, it's not a genetics problem, it's a method problem. And by watching this video, you're gonna know exactly the reason why and exactly what to do about it so you can start getting that muscular, athletic, lean physique that you're inching towards. The person who should be watching this video is for someone who hasn't been making progress like they know they can be. Like, you're probably showing up to the gym every single day, you're consistent, you're disciplined, you're working out hard, but you're not seeing the results that you want. You know, you take off your shirt, you're not happy. You look in the mirror, you're not happy. That's exactly who this video is for. You know, you've been in the gym for like maybe anywhere between 2 years, 10 years, no progress. But don't get me wrong, this is also gonna be for beginners. If you're a beginner, you really have no direction, no guidance, no structure. You need somewhere to start, something to just give you that momentum to push forward. Watch this video too, because this is also gonna be for you guys. Let's get into the video. I am going to show you 3 different workouts and the 5 pillars that I use on a consistent basis that allows me to consistently make progress every single month. I'm talking about, I see new striations, new veins, new chest muscles. I feel like I'm getting stronger. I feel the progress working. And that's the biggest thing, is people don't have a method to follow that's going to allow them to consistently make progress, even if you've been training for years. So the first pillar is going to be HIIT Style Lifting, which is essentially, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what I'm talking about. You know that I work out with speed, explosivity, and I just try to work out as fast as I possibly can, even with heavy weights. I might have 315 pounds on a bar, and I'm lifting it with speed. Now, you might have heard that you shouldn't be working out like this, that it needs to be slow and controlled and focusing on mind-muscle connection. But most of the people that you're listening to, you don't even want the type of physique that they have. Not only one, you don't want a bodybuilder, big bulky physique, but number 2, they're probably using steroids, and which is the reason why something like that works. If you want a more athletic, leaner build, you have to be lifting like a leaner, athletic guy. So train for performance, which is why I train for speed and explosivity and power. Train like an athlete instead of training like a bodybuilder. Which, by the way, if you train for performance, you build muscle as a byproduct of that. So you get both anyways. Not only that, but you know how many times I hear people say that they just hate their workouts? It's boring, it's repetitive, it's not fun. And how do you expect to show up to the gym motivated, ready to work out if you don't even want to do the workout in the first place? Challenge your body, start speeding up your workouts like I'm about to show you, and notice that you're going to feel more motivated, you're going to feel it actually working, you're going to fatigue faster, which, I mean, those are the benefits of HIIT Style Lifting, and that's the exact reason that I do it. The way that I'm going to show you this is I'm going to do 1 set performing 10 reps of a normal squat, and notice how it affects the heart rate. And then 10 reps of me doing the way that I squat, notice how it affects the heart rate. And then 10 reps of my actual set, and notice how that affects the heart rate. And when you actually apply this for yourself, you will know it's working especially if you're tracking your heart rate, if you're reaching the 180, 190 beats per minute. Your workout should feel like you just did a full-on sprint as fast as you possibly can for 100 yards. So you're gasping for air, you're sweating, you're trying to catch your breath, and that's how it should feel, except you're not doing cardio, you're lifting weights. So let's get into it. Let's do the first set and go from there. So right off the back, first of all, it's a lot quicker. I did 10 reps and I saved so much time. Then that's a plus. Number 2, I might not feel tired yet, but it's gonna start to catch up to me the more that I rest, because you don't feel it in the set, but when you're done with the set, boom, it hits you like a truck. So right now we're at 164. I'm betting it's gonna hit like 170. We'll see. 170. So it's these slight little things that make all the difference. Now we're gonna do the full set that I would probably do on a leg day to show you how you should be working on more athletic, more explosive, performance-based, and show you the true core idea of what HIIT style lifting is all about. Let's do it. The stimulus is different. Slow, isolated control movements creates a different result. Fast-paced training is a different stimulus, creates a different result. You probably have so much untapped potential, but you've just been consistent and disciplined with the wrong things. Here's Julius's before, here's his after. And he was in the program for I think 3 or 6 months, I can't remember. He was one of the first people that I trained. But the thing is he was showing up every single day. He was disciplined, he was consistent, he loved going to the gym. But the thing is he wasn't doing the right things. So it's cool to love the gym, but it's even better when you get the results after the years of training that you've been putting in. So once you start applying the HIIT style lifting, you're gonna notice your metabolism is gonna start speeding up, you're gonna feel the muscles working, and then that's how you actually reach the potential that you're looking for. You want bigger muscles? You wanna get leaner? You want a more slimmer, athletic, shredded body? Start applying the right method for your specific goals and not the bodybuilder kind of workouts that you've been studying or YouTube videos or whatever you've been watching. So also, I think it's very important to show you guys that this is a real person and I didn't just pull this bullshit off of online, you know, because it's so easy to fake testimonials and real people, you know what I'm saying? So here's actually a text he sent me because we've trained a couple times together because it lives in the area. So about like an hour away, 2 hours away, I think. But, you know, we still made it happen. So here's what he texted me after. Just threw up right now. Pushed my ass. Never doing that again on a full stomach. I never used the bathroom after my meal last night. Yeah. It was a great session. But basically, he is pushing his body and doing something and challenging it like he never has done before, which is part of pillar number 4, which you'll learn later down in the video. But just as more proof, look at all the text messages we have gone back and forth on. This is real. Oh, shoot. Real, genuine person. Back and forth. These are months of text messages. He's sending me meals. We're meeting up. More meals. Rose in here somewhere. I just keep scrolling. More meals. My foods he's eating. Here's photos. Boom. More photos. Right? More photos. This is all him. He had acne issues. He cleared it up. It's just different. And then I asked him for these specific photos. But just to show you guys that this is proof and this is real life. Okay, so that's training. That is the first pillar, which is HIIT style lifting. But now I want to talk about the second pillar. Essentially what this pillar is meant to do is get your body to run at 100% efficiency rather than 50%. Because there's a lot of people who feel like they're putting in so much work and doing all the right things. They're training hard, their nutrition is on point, but for some reason their physique isn't changing. And it's probably because their body isn't at 100%, but rather only 50% efficiency because they're not applying the core 5. I mean, how do you expect your body to actually transform if it's only running at 50% efficiency and it's coming from bad habits? So this is what the core 5 fixes, and it's meant to have you at 100% efficiency so you're recovering properly, your muscles actually have the fuel it needs to grow, and you can actually start making some progress towards the physique that you want. So the core 5, what it is maximizing sunlight as much as possible, sleeping 7 to 9 hours every single day, quality sleep, whole foods, getting as much whole foods as you possibly can, because this is what's going to give you energy instead of doing stuff like this, which is like the low calorie, high protein, healthy alternative foods that you think is helping you, but it's actually robbing you of energy and adding more inflammation in the body, which is, by the way, not helping you recover and not helping you build muscle. So whole foods, stress management, managing stress as much as possible, because if you're always in a high stress state, it's gonna be catabolic for muscle. And last but not least, a gallon of water a day, because if you're dehydrated even a little bit, you're gonna see it in your performance a lot. Maybe you're missing something from the core 5 that's causing you to not recover properly, lack of energy, or whatever it is, you're not making progress. But once you start adding these habits, it's literally maximizing your body to function at peak performance, which just makes recovery, training hard, and getting towards a physique of your dreams so much easier. All right, so I just woke up and I'm doing a few daily check-ins with my clients, and I figured I'd just tell you a story about Vanessa, who was in the program, who was applying these pillars, and the kind of results that she got, because they're crazy. I mean, here are her before and after photos. So when you apply these pillars, what it does essentially is it builds a foundation for you to finally make progress. A lot of people don't have this foundation implemented first, like Vanessa did, and they wonder why they're not making consistent visual progress over time. So, I mean, when she first came to me, her form was messed up. She was doing the wrong exercise. She's doing isolation, bodybuilder-like movements, because she was taught to do that on like Instagram and YouTube. And the first thing we fixed is her form, because she was doing bicep curls and the hip thrust, and it just wasn't working out. Once we got that down, that allowed her to start training faster and more explosive, which made her body start adapting in a way for the kind of physique that she wanted, a lean, more toned up physique. And then we implemented the core 5, getting her body to ramp up its efficiency, so now she's healthy. And that's really the trick right there, is how do you expect your body to build muscle and lose weight when it's not even healthy in the first place? You're shoving inflammation type foods in your body, you're not getting enough water, maybe you're drinking on the weekends here and there. It's not healthy. So she implemented that. And the first thing that she noticed is her metabolism started spiking, because that's what happens. Every single person that's my client right now goes through the same thing. They start getting hungry. When she first came to me, she was only eating 1 meal a day. And then all of a sudden she was able to eat 3 meals a day, adding 2,500 calories to what she was already doing. See, that's what changed the whole dynamic, because she was only losing 5 to 10 pounds and kind of jumping up and down from it, to all of a sudden losing 50 pounds easily. And it's because her body was primed up before she tried to do so. This doesn't just work with weight loss, it works with gaining muscle as well. How do you expect to gain muscle and lose weight if your body isn't running at peak performance? And the same thing goes for my best friends, just more proof. So hopefully you guys start taking action and start implementing these things. But here, my friends, all of us at this time have been working out for a couple years, and then the right side is just us now. This is Anthony, this is Marcel, this is Dylan, this is David, and this is me. So what's important to take away from this is not our genetics. Vanessa didn't have the best genetics as well. It's not about comparing yourself to us or saying, my genetics, can I even train this way? It's not about that. It's about, can you see visual progress before your eyes over and over and over again? That's the key factor. And if you're not, you aren't following something in the pillar 5 that's going to allow you to do so. The only reason why this works is because you are creating a different kind of stimulus that is different from the more isolation, slower kind of bodybuilder kind of workouts, which is giving you the outcome, making your body adapt towards a more aesthetic, athletic, muscular, kind of leaner build. Okay, so that back workout that I just finished, which by the way, I'm wearing a different set of clothes, and you'll see these clothes throughout the whole video just because I had to redo a few parts and I wasn't happy with it. When I'm locked in, I am locked in, and when I start speaking, I start talking a bunch of gibberish. But basically the back workout that I did, I finished it in about 45 minutes. Warm up, full workout and everything. I mean, the 3 sets that I did, 4 sets of the back workout that I did, it took about 20 minutes. So it's like when you're working out at this pace, HIIT style lifting, not only are you just getting a different kind of results, but you're saving so much time. So much time. I couldn't do another pull-up if I tried to. I completely gassed out. This is also one of the reasons that stops people from going to the gym is time, walls, excuses. Not excuses, but you know what I mean. A lot of people don't show up because maybe they have a lot going on that day, and they show up to the gym knowing that it's going to be a quick workout, so they don't push themselves as hard, which is not going to get results. Or they don't even show up at all, which is not going to get results. People go through these cycles where they're consistent, locked in, not locked in, consistent, locked in, not locked in. And until you fix that problem and get over these walls, you're not going to make any changes. But I also know that those aren't the only walls that people run into. Like another huge one is injuries. And people let these injuries get in the way from then still reaching their max potential. So for example, I shouldn't even be doing pull-ups. I should be doing something like the back row because it's challenging my body. I know that a back row compound movement is also a great movement, but I never do them because my back is so messed up. But the only difference is I didn't let my back get in the way of me being able to crank out a movement that doesn't hurt my back, like pull-ups, like back rows. It's less taxing on the body. I just found another way, another route to be able to get the same result without kind of re-injuring myself over and over again. So the injuries you are dealing with, if it is injuries or walls, what can you do to get over them to show up every single day and be consistent? Not only be consistent in discipline, but kill it every single day. Go hard in the paint every single day. If I just did pull-ups and I didn't go hard every single day, there'd be no reason. Or if I did back rows, but I couldn't go super, super intense because I have a bad back, there'd be no reason to. Something that I have done is I found different ways around it. Pull-ups, the back row dumbbell ones, is what I've been doing. And what I mean by the back rows is like the compound lift, back rows, barbell. That I can't do those because you have to hold this position. My back is messed up. I mean, I have nerve pain running down my leg all the time, herniated discs. My posture's all messed up, so it just furthers my back pain. So it's like, one, you have to figure out a way around it, but number two, identify the weaknesses if you do have injuries and what can you do to fix them. Like, you have to be the one to go out and fix them because, and that's something that I'm doing as well. So it's like, I know I have this weakness, and you only get stronger by focusing on your weaknesses as well. So instead of killing yourself in the bench press and all these other movements, how about you spend a day doing the boring work for once and actually building yourself up on those weaknesses so you can eventually kill it. So right now, something that I'm doing is a lot of glute activation work because I have weak glutes. So I'm doing a lot of step-ups like this, learning how to activate my glutes. I'm doing a lot of lower back core work. That's getting my core right. So that way, eventually, I can like bang out deadlifts, bang out back rows with no pain. Like, that's the whole goal. So what I'm trying to say is that there are always going to be walls in the way of you getting results. I mean, just like my client, Jonathan, who was in the program, he wasn't getting any results at all. But once he actually had a goal for himself, a specific goal, because people come to me on Instagram all the time. I want to lose weight. I want to build muscle, but that's not a specific goal. What are your specific goals? Is it 10% body fat? Is it to reach 315 on the bench press and 405 on the deadlift while being able to take off on a full sprint? When you have an exact goal like that, then you can structure a plan and take steps towards that goal. But if you just say build muscle and lose weight, you're not going to have really an in-depth plan. Have that goal first, make that in-depth plan, and then find the weaknesses that's preventing you from getting there. Mine is my back. What are your weaknesses, and are you doing something to try to fix it? So Jonathan, he didn't have a specific goal, right? So that's the first thing that we need to do, is get him identifying what exactly he wanted to do. Then after that, we made him a structured plan that is getting him closer to that detailed specific goal. And once we were able to do that, this is what he looked like before, and this is what he looks like now. So completely changed man. Abs, muscle definition, and he's actually sprinting again like he used to when he was a kid, when he was an athlete in high school, but he gained so much weight he can't sprint. He lost weight, and now he's sprinting again with his kids, going on hikes, long hikes with his kids, furthering that generation and teaching them
how to train like this. And he had walls along the way as well. He wasn't consistent all the time. He wasn't showing up every single day all the time because he had walls. He has a full-time family. He has a job. He's knocking on doors 12 hours a day. So he is mentally drained. But again, he's physically and mentally drained. But when you hop on the core 5, this kind of balances it out. Before when he's, drinking, drinking the bad sodas, eating all the processed foods because he's on the road all the time, that doesn't help energy levels. We get him on the core 5, we get him on a direct routine meant for his specific goals. We kill the walls along the way and break those down and get over them. Now he's able to show up every single day consistently, disciplined, training hard every single day, which is going to allow him to get those kind of goals. So at the end of the day, there's so many different kinds of walls that's preventing you from reaching your max potential and training as hard as possible, showing up every single day. You have to identify what those are. Maybe it's not injuries, maybe it's not a time issue, but what's stopping you from being able to show up like that every single day? But now I want to talk about the next pillar, which is performance-based nutrition. So what this is macro tracking your macros, making sure you're getting enough protein in, of course, optimizing your carbs and your fats based off, maybe some of the things you're dealing with, maybe it's low energy, or maybe you want better performance. So macro tracking is one, but also getting a variety of different foods in throughout the day. Because something that I see a lot is when people are trying to get as lean as possible and as cut as possible, they're able to get cut. They're able to get leaner and lose fat and drop fat because they're eating stuff like chicken breasts and asparagus every single day, broccoli every single day, which is cool. It works. And they're also cutting out the egg yolk. They cut out the egg yolk. They're getting the 2%. So they're getting these they're trying to make it as much low calorie as possible, which gets them to lose fat. But the thing is it takes away from your performance. Takes away from your performance. You notice the shift in lower energy and you aren't able to kill it in every single session. And that's where most people get it wrong. Because the secret to getting lean and getting cut as possible and building muscle is you need to be able to find a method that allows you to lose fat, calorie deficit, tracking your macros, but also high training sessions. So instead of cutting out the egg yolk and trying to do everything you can to find the lowest calorie sources, maybe you're eating chicken salads every day with no ranch. Maybe you're getting that serious. Instead of doing that, what if you started eating the stuff that people say to cut out? Eating the steaks every day, eating the potatoes every day, getting a variety of different foods, adding berries for the antioxidants, bananas for the potassium, eating the carbs. You know what I'm saying? They're higher calorie, but it's also more nutritious for your body. It gives the body the vitamins and minerals that it needs to be fueled for higher training sessions. So something that I always say is it's like, sometimes it's okay to be hungry, every once in a while, 2 days out of the week, 3 days of the week, to replenish all the vitamins and minerals that you might be missing because you just trained hard the past few days. So you got to find that balance where it's like, okay, some days I'm going to have low calorie foods. And so that way I can feel fuller and I feel hungry all the time so I can get leaner. But some days I need to deal with the hunger, rough it out, be disciplined because again, achieving a physique like this, it's meant to be hard. That's why it's so respected by everyone. You have an amazing physique when you have it. Sometimes it's okay to deal with the hunger levels, get the better quality foods. Introduce the yolk back in, introduce the whole milk back in, eat the nuts, get the high calorie steak, give the body the fuel it needs so that way you can actually go hard in the gym and train hard. You might be having applying some of the pillars that I've already taught in the core 5, the HIIT Style Lifting and stuff like that. You might be locked in with your nutrition, everything's right. So you might be blaming your genetics for the reason why you aren't seeing more progress. Maybe you just hit your limit. Or maybe you're just not following pillar number 4, which is the ABC rule. Always be challenging yourself. So you might be thinking it's genetics, but let me ask you a question. Can you work a little bit harder? And if you can, it's probably not your genetics. You probably just got comfortable and aren't pushing your body to the next level and upping the ante to force progress upon yourself. So like people come to me and they're like, yeah, bro, I'm already doing 10K steps. Or maybe it's my clients, I'm like, okay, you're doing 10K steps. You're not seeing more progress. Well, do 15K steps, do 20K steps. Shoot, maybe even do 30K steps. So if you can do more, you should be challenging yourself and doing more. And that's how you're gonna make more and more progress. I mean, when I first started, I was doing a bicep circuit, pull up, push up kind of circuit. And it made me have a great physique. The moment I noticed myself not getting sore anymore is a moment that I knew, okay, maybe I should up the ante and add more, do something that's actually challenging my body That's going to make me progress. So I started doing, now it's to the point, and I started doing something like I'm blasting chest for an hour and a half, and then after that I go to the hill and do some hill sprints, do 10 of them on the incline, 100 yards, then I come home and hit the bag for like 30 minutes straight. But doing stuff like that is so fatiguing to the body, shocking your nervous system, that it's going to force your body to change. Now, you might be saying, okay, yeah, bro, well, that's going to make you super tired and you're just going to be drained all the time. And yeah, that's 100% true. And you might even think that I can do it because this fitness is all my life. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you just got to stick it out. You know, for example, I work 10 to 12-hour shifts. You know, I'm posting on Instagram 3 times a day, coming up with the content, responding to 50 DMs on my Instagram. I'm making YouTube videos, TikToks. I'm responding to my clients, trying to further my program. And that takes a lot of energy. You know, except I just deal with it, and I say to myself, okay, there are multiple areas that I want to be successful in. I know I need to train hard to get a better physique. And I also know that I just have to thug it out and still do the work that I have to and the responsibilities of life. Like, you guys, I'm also a newborn father. I mean, I also have a newborn baby, and I get no sleep. You just have to be the one to take yourself out that comfort zone and challenge your body. So that's pillar number 4. And the last pillar I want to talk about is supplements, which supplements only matter if you've already been applying the 4 other pillars we've been talking about. People ask me all the time, what's your secret supplement stack? Thinking that I'm on like this fat burner and testosterone booster and ashwagandha and tonga ali, and they think that I'm gonna tell them some magical secret stack that's gonna get them to see results, when the reason they're not making progress and results is because they haven't been consistent enough with doing the right things that's meant for their specific goal. And if it's athletic, muscular, lean looking, shredded, you need to be applying the 4 pillars before you even think about adding the supplements. All right, so you might think maybe this method is only working for him and his clients and his best friends because they're all on the juice. Maybe he's just giving them all the juice and him himself is on steroids. But the thing is you can't make those assumptions when you aren't doing everything you can to maximize your own potential. Because at the end of the day, again, it's not about genetics. It's about, are you making progress and are you following a method that's gonna allow you to do so? But maybe you just don't want it as much as you think you do because you aren't applying these 5 pillars. Maybe you've already put it in your mind that I'm just gonna skip over this video and not apply anything from this YouTube video. But the thing is, once you start applying HIIT style lifting, speed, explosive, performance-based lifting, the core 5, your body's running at 100% efficiency, it's healthy, performance-based nutrition, you are getting high quality food, you're tracking your macros, the ABC rule, always challenging your body, going to complete failure, fatiguing the muscle, shocking the nervous system. After your sessions, your body's literally shaking because you just dumped adrenaline on how hard you just trained. And then maximizing yourself with supplements until you are giving it your all and actually doing as much as you can to see the progress by following a good method. You can't make those assumptions. Maybe we're not on steroids. Maybe we're just doing everything that we can because we're actually serious about our goals. So that is the 5 pillars in action. I also wanted to let you guys know that I do one-on-one coaching. I get so many messages on Instagram telling me, what is your program about? Can you just tell me what it's about? So I'm just gonna lay down here so I don't ever have to explain it to everybody on earth. Basically, it's broken down in between 3 and 4 phases, depending if you want to join the 6-month program or the 12-month program. Phase 1 is all about the foundation phase. It's all about perfecting form, so that way you can increase the speed in your workouts. This is where you get a individualized macro breakdown based on your specific goals, weight loss, building muscle, performance, but also you as an individual, because we're all at different starting places. We install the core 5 habits, so that way your body is running at peak efficiency. You get introduced to trigger sessions, which is a method of working out to always keep that muscle building signal on your rest days. Just means more and more and more muscle. Weight loss will also not be focused on right off the back. Everyone just immediately wants to go into it when they join the program, but I want to let you guys know that is not the way to go about it. You want to prime the body first, get your body running at peak efficiency, and that's what's going to allow the fat to just shred off, just like all the transformations that you have seen. This is the key to doing that, is by going through the first couple phases and then focusing on the weight loss phase later. Also in this phase, I'm going to have you send me weekly macro videos, and also form videos. That way I can just make sure you're doing all the right things, eating the right foods, doing the form correctly, and make the real-time adjustments on a week-to-week basis, so that way you can apply it, not get confused by adding too much. We focus on one thing at a time and get that needle moving forward. So that's phase one. Phase two is all about HIIT style lifting. This is where you get introduced to drop set burnouts, which is a method I implemented for the first 6-7 years of my life, and it has been a big game changer. I've actually given this one tip to just some random person at the gym, and he comes back months later thanking me because he's never made so much progress in his life. It's a game changer, I'm telling you guys. This is also the phase you're gonna start to notice that your body's starting to be primed. You're gonna get hungrier, metabolism is speeding up. So everyone goes through this, everyone experiences it. But that's the priming your body for weight loss and getting shredded that I was talking about in phase one. Also, supplements will be implemented here, since the core 5 and the 5 pillars are implemented in core and the first phase, just maximizing your potential. Phase 3 is all about plateau breaking. So there came a point in my journey where I just hit a plateau and I was doing everything right, and it was only until I came up with a routine, a full body routine that causes so much stimulus to the muscle that it forces your body to grow. So this is why I implement this phase. I keep it in here so that way, you know, if you ever do run into another plateau, you can use this after the program has ended, because you shouldn't need another coach after going through this program, and then you keep seeing progress over and over again. This is also where we focus on the weight loss portion if you're in the 6-month program. This is where you will get introduced into the athletic training, the speed type training, the sprints, because it only furthers your ability to break plateaus, because your body learns to produce force at very high speeds rather than a power lifter, which takes a little bit longer for him to produce force. But phase 4 is the last phase if you're in the 12-month program. If you are in a 12-month program, this is where we focus on the weight loss. This is where we focus on the athletic training. But the 12-month program is directly coming from the pillar 4, ABC rule. Always be challenging yourself. I throw everything that I've learned and refined over the years, and I throw it into this one program, so that way it causes so much stimulus to the body, it has no other choice but to change. And what this is gonna do is just shorten down that learning curve of being able to make so much progress. I spent 12 years to get to the physique that I have, and it's because I didn't have all these methods in place yet. But now I put this in one program, so that way you can cut that in half and make faster progress. This is a one-on-one coaching program, so my goal is to give you a plan, a structured plan, where all you have to do is just take action. Take action. If all you do is need structure, you know, you're a worker ant, all you need to do is have some direction, and you can just go after it and be disciplined and go after it. This is something that will work for you. And again, I'm a one-on-one coach, so if you run into a problem, it is my job to make the adjustments to your macros and your training program, so that way you don't have to think about anything at all except taking massive action. But that's pretty much how the program is laid out. At the end of the day, you aren't making progress. If you watched to the end of this video, there is something in your routine, your method, that you aren't doing. It's not your genetics, and you've probably been blaming genetics this whole time. But now, after realizing and watching this video, you realize that something else is happening to the reason why you're not making progress. You want a lean, athletic, aesthetic physique. Why aren't you following the 5 pillars? Maybe it's a structure problem. Maybe it's a low energy problem, but once you actually start following a method that's going to allow you to constantly be making progress, instead of following some routine that you saw from a bodybuilder who's on steroids, that's when you're gonna be making progress, more progress as a natural. So instead of doing the movements you've been doing for years with no progress, you look in the mirror, you take off your shirt, and you still aren't happy with your results, you stop doing that method and get on a method that works, well, then you'll be happy. So you know the method now, you know the 5 pillars, you've seen the heart rate, but now it's about what are you gonna do with this information. So I posted a link in the bio of this YouTube video that is going to allow you to book a one-on-one call with me, so that way we can see if the coaching program is right for you. I'm not saying you're going to join, I'm not gonna force you to join, it's just to see if this is the right path that you can follow. So on this call, what we're gonna do is we're gonna see exactly where you're at as an individual. We're gonna take in accountability your age, weight, height, starting point. We're gonna take a look at your goals and see how we can implement this plan into your routine and see if it works for you. And the best thing about this is it's not gonna cost you a dime. So you have the opportunity to hop on a phone call with me, and you might even have some epiphany moments and get so much value from this one phone call. But it's gonna be up to you if you wanna take that opportunity or not. Completely free, just to see if the coaching program is right for you. If you're not ready for that step, maybe your nerves are just getting to you a little bit, you can always shoot me a message on Instagram. I answer all my DMs, and just send me the word enhance so I know you want one-on-one coaching, and let me know you're coming from watching this video so I can have some context. But that's it. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you can take something away from it. Other than that, I'll either see you on a phone call, see you in the DMs, or see you in the next video or on my next Instagram video.